On a cold Saturday night, a surprising number of 18th century history buffs danced to Yankee Doodle Dandy, a song the British used to mock colonists.
This is a grand colonial ball, and it wouldn't have happened necessarily in Kingston in October 1777, but it certainly happened in New York City, which was occupied by the British. It happened in Philadelphia, and any place where Loyalists and British might have gotten together.
This is a celebration. It gives everybody a chance to relax after a long and cold day. And a victory dance for us.
Historic Kingston City Hall played host to the event, part of the Burning of Kingston reenactment held over the weekend. In 1777, the British landed in Kingston, which at the time was a hotbed of rebellious colonists, and burned the city to the ground.
I think one of the major ways to keep people interested in their history is to demonstrate what things were like then, to give them an option to look at the uniforms, the weapons of the period, what drove people to do what they did, and the best thing is something visual.
The smell of wood-burning fires around the city added an eerie element to this victory dance. It should be carefully noted a dance like this did not happen here in Kingston in 1777. However, encampments like this one down by the Hudson River did.
Kingston, of course, at that time was the northernmost point that the British advanced during that period in 1777. And almost in retaliation, they burned the city. And we're basically trying to commemorate both, again, not to glorify the warfare of it, but in commemoration of the people it served on both sides.
It's admirable to see 20-somethings giving up being tethered to technology to play a role in the reenactment of a historical event that played a pivotal role in our nation's history.
What have you learned? What's the biggest thing that you've learned so far?
Well, to work as a team with a lot of other people and to explore different facets which really haven't been explored for 300 or so years, and it's helps relive history for people.
We have well over a dozen boats here. These are boats that you would have seen on the Hudson River on a daily basis that are wiped from history unless you do the research. What we have here today are boats that are sailing in a traditional manner on a river that was one of the thoroughfares of commerce and trade and military use in the 18th century.
After the historic attack and burning by the British, the city of Kingston went on to become the state's first capital and where the state's first constitution was written. 232 years later, the weekend event remains a strong draw for those rooting for the Yankees and those rooting for the Redcoats.
There were hundreds of people today. They got to see boats with cotton canvas sails, hemp and manila rigging, wooden boats plying their way in 20-mile-an-hour winds on the Hudson River and doing it with skill, doing it successfully. And where else do you get to see something like that but when a town like Kingston invites us to come here and hosts such a great event and lets us come and show what we can do to contribute to this part of the history.
I'm Roger Rosenbaum.